Hey folks, what a view behind me. I'm at Black Bull Markets headquarters here in Auckland, New Zealand. Speaking of views, you can get TradingView paid plans for free at Black Bull Markets, saving you up to $600 a year. Get either the Essential Plus or Premium plans absolutely free. All you need to do is trade from one lot a month at Black Bull Markets. And you can also get a 100% deposit bonus for your first deposit up to $1,000. All you need to do is click the Trading Nut link in the description below. Our sponsor Blue Guardian is the only prop firm that gives their traders a tool to protect them from hitting their max daily loss and over trading. It's super simple to use. Just set the Guardian Protector each day from your dashboard. Did you also know that they've just released an unlimited time evaluation with a 0 trading days requirement, giving you plenty of time to hit their low 8 and 4% targets, making it super fast to get funded. Plus, it's cheaper than the 40-day time limit evaluation. Check out the link and coupon in the description to get 10% off your next Blue Guardian evaluation.
What's going on, guys? Brinks Trades here, back with another week of breakdowns. Hopefully everybody had a great trading week. Nanda says, hello, traders. What's going on, Nanda? So gonna go ahead and get into the breakdowns. Probably give it a couple seconds for some more people to hop on. It's, usually get about 30 people. So how's everybody doing today? How's it, let's drop some comments in here. I know Saturday morning in at least Michigan, or in the Eastern time zone where I'm at. So hopefully everybody's having a good day. Nanda says, will NAS give correction? I'm going to dive into it. I hope I'm saying your name right, Nanda. Sorry if I'm not. NAS give correction. We're going to see. We're going to dive in and take a look at things. I'm doing good. I'm just ready for the weekend, ready to enjoy the weekend, and, take the break from the charts before coming back next week. So, let's see. Let's give it a couple more minutes. Before I get started, I guess, does anybody have any questions at all about any of the breakdowns or any of the stuff that I do, general process? If you guys aren't familiar, if this is your first time being on the charts with me, it's I've been doing this for the Trading Nut podcast, I think, since like September, October. But I'm a day trader. I started out in the Forex markets. I have shifted more to indices. First, it was indices traded through Forex platforms. And then more recently I've shifted to just trading, between prop firms and actual futures, brokers as well. So, so, it's been like a 10-year journey for me. I've been doing this for a long time. And so hopefully, the analysis that I bring is helping you guys kind of, fine tune your own strategies and go from there. I guess I will do my quick little shout out for my, essentially like Telegram chat where I do all my free analysis on, that's going to be my Tick-Ups channel. And then let me go ahead and drop that for you guys in here before I get started. Just want to usually give it some time today because I know as soon as I hop on, there's always comments on here asking if I already did a particular breakdown. So I want to give, some people to hop on, the time to hop on. Where's it at? Well, you know what? I'll drop it before the chat's over. First time here. Let's see. I'm not going to touch that. I don't have anything I can say that on the chat without getting muted. Blessings, bro. Hope you're doing well. Love from the islands. ASAP Bullet. Where are you from, ASAP? Where island are you coming from, man? There's a couple down there. All right. First time here. What's up, man? How's it going? So we'll go ahead and give it a couple more minutes and then, just hop on. Trying to find my link to my chat here. But yeah, I guess the Bahamas. Okay. I've never been to the Bahamas, but I heard good things. Let's go ahead and get started with these breakdowns. I know you guys are tired seeing me. Yo, what's going on? So if you're new here, I do all of my analysis live. So basically, between the time the market closes and our calls, or I guess these live videos, live streams, I don't look at the markets at all. So basically, this is like my first time seeing the markets since they've closed. And usually, my own personal trading style is, I'm usually trading like 2 or 3 days out throughout the week on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, and I don't I don't really trade much on Friday, so I really don't even look at the market close most of the time. So this is usually my first time looking at the chart since the markets have closed. And so a couple of things have happened here. So coming into, let's start with the weekly time frame. I'm going to bounce back just to see if there's any comments. See what I'm seeing. Analysis is correct. Rowan. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the reasons I do this, man. So, I really do this for two different types of groups of traders, right? So the traders that kind of have an idea of the concepts that I teach and how I see the markets. There's a lot of traders that do see the markets like this. So if you do see the markets like this, yeah, use this as another confirmation, right? If you don't have any idea of what I'm like, how I'm trading or the style, or you just know that every week I'm coming to the charts, and I think the majority of the weeks so far, I've actually been pretty accurate as far as where the market's going. But you have no idea how that's working and how I'm doing it. Feel free to join the Telegram. That's what the Telegram is for. Just for more community, more confirmations, and really just the ability to learn from somebody that has, again, 10 years of experience. Nanda said I'm under a matrix of track. They banned my Insta. That's not good, man. That's not good at all. Okay, cool. Well, all right, let's go ahead and get into this. So weekly time frame on dollar index. And so again, if you guys are new, I just use dollar index as a barometer for what I'm seeing, to kind of give me a frame of reference for the other currencies and the other charts that I trade. Everything in the markets is in relation to the dollar. The dollar is king until it's dethroned, maybe in the future. The dollar is how all our markets move, and it is kind of like the backing behind everything. So if we get a better understanding of how the dollar is moving, then we can kind of get a better understanding of where we should project indices to go throughout the week. And so obviously I focus on the indices through on this channel. So we look here, there's a couple levels that I wanted to see respected. And so overall, I've been saying this for the past few weeks, right? So this rally that we've been having, I was very suspect of it. I kind of thought there's a really good chance that this is going to be a liquidity grab and not necessarily an overall, I guess, change of trend or break of structure to going up to the upside. And so if you look here in the monthly, again, we're just kind of dancing around these particular levels. We're trading back into this monthly fair value gap here, which is what we've kind of been dancing around. If we go down to the weekly time frame, again, there was a couple levels that I wanted to see respected and called out. And so, again, this high, which the silver line denotes at 104.25, this is the high that here. So I wanted to see this respected. I also wanted to see price dance into this fair value gap here. And you can see that over the past 3 or 4 weeks, we've not only been respecting this fair value gap, but we've also been respecting consequent encroachment, right? So these 3 levels here is, just what I've been seeing as far as, just kind of like fail-safe levels. Also, my last kind of fail-safe level was the consequent encroachment, this order block, but we're not even making it that high. But you can see we're respecting, pretty much the high of, basically this high right here at 104.25. This fair value gap here, and as well as the consequent encroachment. And as long as we stay under these and respect these, I would love to see price continue to trend to the downside. This to me just kind of looks like more of like a liquidity grab, right? And so ideally, what we wanted to see last week was price really trade a little bit higher and then really start to look down. And obviously, if we replay the candles last week, this is what we wanted to see happen, right? Again, we wanted to see price potentially retrace up into that and then continue to fall over. And that's exactly what we got. Again, so price started the week, made a high. It didn't go as high as we thought it would have went, but that's, it doesn't really matter about that as much as the overall direction for the week. So again, price is trading into this, and we're respecting the zone. So we're kind of in this consolidated area. Ideally, I would like for this to continue to go short and find opportunities to continue on with the downtrend. But we're pretty much in a state of equilibrium right now. So I would like to say long-term bias again is short. As we break this down to the daily time frame, there's a bunch of liquidity here. And so we're respecting this volume imbalance that we came back to. We've also dropped the body in here, which is something that we'd like to see. So coming into next week, I would like to stay with the same bias, right? And I would like to stay, I would like to be looking for short opportunities for this to continue on back down with the structure that we're in. If we get a daily close above consequent encroachment, then I'm probably going to shift this bias. I'm sorry, a weekly close above consequent encroachment. We're going to probably shift this bias and go and move to a downtrend. But as of right now, I think this is still kind of flowing exactly how we wanted to see things. And we are, in the midst of continuing that downtrend, which would align with higher prices on our indices. We know that if the dollar is going down, it has an inverse relationship with indices and certain forex pairs that end in USD, right? So again, that's what I would like to see happen. So let me go to comment section. My entry time frame is a lot lower. I enter on like minutes, and I'm looking for particular things to, there's a lot that I look for when I'm actually looking to get into trades. Like I have a standard checklist of things, and so a lot of things have to align. But I'm entering on my minute time frames. Usually it's less than 5 minute time frames. So a lot of time frame correlation and taking what I'm seeing on the higher time frames down to the lower time frames. So hopefully that helps. So let's go to the daily time frame on NASDAQ. And then I guess just so you guys have a good understanding too, the reason that I do these calls is, for me, bias is kind of like the hardest part of the game, and kind of getting an idea of where the markets are going to go on the higher time frames should lend you to kind of be able to put together a framework on how to attack that on the lower time frames. But for me, like the higher time frame bias is always the hardest part. And so I do these calls to give you guys an insight into how I look at the bias. Obviously, I can't put everything together for you, and I don't want to be responsible for putting everything together for you. But if you have an idea of a bias, that's like 70% of the work, right? And so if you're trading along with that bias throughout the week, and specifically, I teach my students like how to kind of take this idea of the bias and break it down into how to attack the week on a Monday through Friday basis. So you should be able to take these things and break it down to what you should be looking for. On the smart time frames. Okay, so going to NASDAQ again, what we wanted to see was a couple of things. I made the call. Let me see, Monday. I think this is it. So coming into the week, this is pretty much where we stood, and there was a couple of levels. Yeah, there was a couple of levels on the daily that I wanted to see price flow into. I had this fair value gap mapped out on the weekly. I believe if keep me honest, you guys can go back to the previous call last week. The good thing about all of this stuff is that all my calls are recorded. They're in the public. They're public records, so you guys can go back and verify everything. Just one of the things about me, I like being transparent as a trader. I think there's a lot of stuff in this industry that's not transparent, so I try to be transparent. Okay, so weekly time frame. Oops, that was the monthly. Tripping. Monthly time, or the weekly time frame, we wanted to see price. This is pretty much how we ended last week, and let me get rid of that. We wanted to see price really retrace to a few levels. Particularly, I wanted to see price respect the high of this week. I'm sorry, the consequent encroachment of this wick here in particular, and meaning that I wanted to see closes above this level, right? And so 1762. So that was the first level that I was looking at. The secondary level I was looking at was the low of last week, right? So that's 17,547 level. And then the third level, kind of like as a last resort, is this imbalance, this fair value gap, potentially trading to the lower end of that. So those are 3 levels that I wanted to see. Ideally, I wanted to see closes above this. So when this weekly candle formed, I wanted to see closes above consequent encroachment. Kind of gives me a good idea that we're going to stay with the bias. And so if we fast forward the week, and then I guess pausing this before the candle finishes, our targets were again going to be the high of last week. That's what we wanted to see. Boom. And so all 3 of those things kind of held, right? And so we did get a touch as far as this fair value gap, retracing into that fair value gap. We did take out sell side liquidity here in this low, but then we also respected this consequent encroachment. So that's all the levels that basically everything was hit and respected that I wanted to see respected coming into the week. And we ended up hitting our target, which was the high. I think we took this out Thursday or Friday. So this was, definitely a winning week. There was a lot of we made this move later on in the week, and so that kind of it threw me off a little bit, and it threw I think maybe some of the traders that I mentor off just a small bit as far as kind of like looking for the bias and kind of trading in line with that. But ultimately, everything kind of played out, and usually you got to be patient with the charts. You can't just be rushing in and trying to risk everything on one trade because you could be wrong. So everything was respected. So what I would like to see moving forward again is same thing we've been doing. So we're trading at all-time highs, right? So this is going to be our target for next week. And so as I break this down I'm going to get rid of some of these levels because I don't think they're relevant anymore. I'm going to go down to the daily time frame and really just look. And so ideally what I'd like to see is even more confirmation. So coming into FOMC, price was trading all the way down here. And, by the end of that day on Wednesday, we'd respected this volume imbalance here. And so would love to see price have respected that if we we're going to stay bullish, and we did. So more confirmations and more kind of like good signs, and definitely the consequent encroachment of that volume imbalance as well. So coming into next week, this is what I want to see happen. I ideally would like to see price trade back into this fair value gap here. If you can tell by now, I'm big on gaps. I'd like to see price trade into this and then really look to take out these highs. Whether that happens, early next week or, going into next week, I'm not sure. But this is ideally what I'd like to see. And then really, the target will be the high. So I'll be trading in line with this bias, bullish bias for the remainder of the week. And again, if you're my student, if you're on the call, then, you should know what we're looking for specifically, throughout the weekly profile. So, I'm going to be bullish on NASDAQ again. Got to trade in line with this bias as we see it. So I'll be looking for long opportunities throughout the week on our key days. And I always make a note there just so people can see it. So let me go to the comment section really quick. Hugo, what's going on, man? Hugo, I'm good. Oloratu says NAS is really exciting at this moment. Yeah, NAS. So NAS is essentially an investment vehicle, right? So if you think about, I'm more comfortable in ranging markets. I come from Forex. So usually, markets like this, when they make all-time highs, they usually quickly retrace back into that range and start going the opposite direction because if you think about the markets, currency markets are meant to be the relationship between two currencies, obviously, or at least two currencies. And so you can't just have a market keep shooting up, because it'll severely inflate another currency. So like if USD JPY just keeps shooting up, it's going to really devalue the yen, right? So you have to have some sort of checks and balances. And so for me, I'm used to markets where they kind of range, or they're trading within a higher time frame, monthly or weekly range. And so with this, though, NASDAQ is an investment vehicle. It's supposed to go up over time, right? Because people are throwing their 401ks into this, and companies are making more revenue and profits as time goes on. And so this is supposed to go higher. So this is supposed to be an investment vehicle. It's supposed to be making all-time highs. You just got to have to know how to trade within this. And obviously being able to trade within a bullish trend, it makes the bias easier for now because we just kind of keep going up. But there's also ways you can get tripped up in here as a trader throughout the week. Um, the markets that I prefer again are going to be more trending markets, or I guess some type of trading within some type of range on the higher time frames, because it gives me targets to hit. Here we don't have as many targets, so it's kind of just not as fun. So it's not as fun as for me, but I guess it keeps going up. If you're holding, I guess if you're long-term trading, it's probably really exciting. All right, so let's go to S&P. So this is the US500. I'm going to use this chart just because it's a little cleaner than what we're seeing on ES, but well, I guess I could use this. So ES, if you're not familiar, ES is going to be the same as US500. It's just one is for international traders and one is for people in the US. So obviously you can take my analysis that I just gave for NQ and apply it to micro NQs. You can apply it to NAS100, right? It's the same thing. The numbers might vary a little bit, but overall structure, and it's going to be the same. So coming into US500 or the S&P, whatever you want to use or call it, last week we wanted to see price really, again, get rid of this. We wanted to see price trade back into this daily fair value gap, potentially one more time, and then really give us an opportunity to take out, the highs, potentially trading under the low of I think this was Thursday or Friday, but then ultimately look to continue to go higher. And that's essentially what we did. And I was looking at two particular targets. I wanted to see price really break through consequent encroachment of this wick. Again, consequent encroachment is a concept that the market will respect the 50% level on certain I guess, patterns. And so if it is respecting that, then we could see price continue maybe to even make further bearish moves. So I wanted to see price get us a daily close above this high before we continue to go higher, and then ultimately take out the high for our ultimate target. So once we had a daily close above consequent encroachment, I was kind of happy. I would be happy to continue on with the bullish bias on S&P. So fast forward 5 days, we traded back into here. Boom, respected levels perfectly and took things out. So we hit our goal again. So what I would like to see here is for price to continue to make these highs, right? And I want to see price really trade back into this. There's a couple levels I'm going to be looking at. Here, I'd like to see price continue on, really hit these highs. So that's what I'll be looking for throughout the week. I'm not going to go any lower. Yeah, there's a couple levels that I see that I could see price coming back to. I'm not going to call them out though. Leave that for you guys for your own study. All right, so I want to see price come back in this range and then continue to go hit the high. The high of last week or the high of Friday will be our target for next week. So I'm going to go ahead and drop a money sign here. That'll be our target for the week. And hopefully we hit that. If we do take out this level here, then we could see a deeper retrace. It's kind of like my fail-safe level at 4,943. So hopefully we do stay above that. And just looking at the weekly time frame to see if there's anywhere we would trip up. Yeah, no, I think we're good. So again, remember that the indices are investment vehicles. So over time, they should rise. That's the point of them. They do have negative years, or they do have off years where they're pulling back, but we should, for the most part, want to see these things rise year over year. Lastly, let's go to Dow Jones really quickly. Actually, let me hit the comment section real quick. What's going on? Appreciate it, man. I appreciate the comments. If you guys are finding value in these, like these up, please, like these, share these, tell other people to hop on. Tell other people there's a trader on here that's been doing lives for the last 6 months, and I don't think I've been wrong, maybe more than once in the last 6 months. So if you guys are finding value in this, share the videos, like it up, get that algorithm kind of hopping on these, so I can grow this platform, help grow the trading nut platform, and um, keep doing my thing. So again, coming into last week on Dow Jones, there's a couple levels that we wanted to see respected. I believe, if anybody doesn't believe me, keep me honest. I wanted to go back to the last week's video, but I believe we wanted to see this happen here. Wanted to see price trade back into this level here. And really look to take out these highs. That's what we wanted to see. And so fast forward 5 days, we got exactly that. We respected all the key levels that we typically want to respect. And we ended up smashing our target, which would have been the high of last week here. Very small target. But again, there wasn't, I guess this 4,000. Well, it's like 500 points. So was a very small target. And Dow Jones, actually, the cost per contract size is smaller than the rest of the other two. So I personally don't trade this. I only really trade NASDAQ. But you see the same thing happen over and over again. So okay, so again, same protocol here. We don't really have a ton of area to aim for. So ideally, I'd like to see price really kind of come back to these highs. I will put a secondary level in for consequent encroachment, since we do have a huge wick here. So at this level, at 39,196 is where I'll kind of have my first primary take profit for the week. Bro, what's going on? Does anybody else is trading me just do weird stuff? Like, I don't understand why these sticks don't always work. All right, so yep, so I'll be looking at that level as kind of like my initial take profit level if we do get a trade back into here. See how price respects that level, but ideally I want to see this take this high out. So that's the level I'll be watching coming into US30. For US30, and this is also obviously known as the Dow Jones. So anytime you see YM, that's the futures symbol for it, or US30 or Dow Jones, it's going to be the same market. How do I see indices near elections? So typically in election years, indices typically rise, and you got to think like whoever the president is, whether what side of the aisle he's on, they're usually trying to like stay in office, right? So usually the markets do good in election years. Generally speaking, they usually do good. If you think back to 2016, 2020 was an interesting year. But yeah, 2020 was a crazy year. Or 2021 or 2020 was the election year. Yeah. So it was a crazy year. But normal years aside, even election years, the markets tend to rise. And I think even if you look back at 2020 in the markets, like we had a crazy March due to, everything, the pandemic and stuff. But price over time, I think, ended up finishing high for that year. Index said, bro, I caught the all-time high short of NQ. High short of NQ. Mex, tell Mex. So, okay. So I think you're saying I caught the all-time high short of NQ. Tell me, should I hold it or close at the open? So I can't give you advice, man. I'm not a licensed. I can't give you advice on what you should do with your trades. I can't do that. I guess so. I guess my question is, you said you're holding it short, like you're trying to short the all-time high. That's what you're saying, or you're in a buy position and you're trying to take it higher. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I'm looking at for the markets. I guess going back to the charts really quick. Um, that's all I really have for you guys today. I will go ahead and drop the link to my Telegram chat. So take up. So if you guys are not in the chat, definitely join just so you can stay. You can have updated analysis throughout the week because things sometimes change. In this situation, maybe not this week, but sometimes my biases do change midweek based on what happens on Monday or Tuesday. And you got to be flexible. Um, so I don't particularly always, sometimes I change my bias, but also too, for anybody that's been interested in kind of how I've been trading and kind of getting a better understanding of like how the way I trade. I will be opening up my mentorship, I think March 25th. And so that's basically just going to be a live class. It's going to be taught. All the classes will be recorded, but it'll be taught live for you guys. Basically, you're getting one-on-one. I mean, not one-on-one, but like live mentorship from me instead of watching videos. I think it's more effective, and people usually have questions after kind of learning material. And it's a month-long mentorship where I basically break down my entire style of trading, how I approach the markets, instead of just giving you guys the bias, but kind of giving you the logic behind it so you guys can also be really good traders. Or I guess I can't promise that you'll be a good trader, but I can promise that you'll get a firm understanding of the way that I see the markets. But yeah, so it's going to be March 25th. If you guys are interested at all, I'm going to drop the link for the Telegram chat. The sign up sheet is in the Telegram chat. There is that TickUps link right there. Definitely join. Definitely. I love the idea of teaching people. My current mentorship class that I've been working with since August, it's really cool to start to see them see it. I've had some one-on-ones after the class with a lot of my students, and it's been really cool to kind of watch them take the concepts and take the way that I see the markets, and to the point where they can even do stuff like this, right? They're calling out like where they think price is going to go, and they've been, reasonably accurate as well. I just had a one-on-one yesterday with someone, and she's getting it too. Like, so it's really cool to watch like people grow in their career. So, or in their trading endeavors. So that's the link to the Telegram chat. Guys, feel free to join it. Inside of that chat, I think the most recent post or the pin post is the sign up sheet for the mentorship. If you're interested, cool. If you're not, it's cool. I don't need to sell mentorships to make money, so it's all good. But yeah, so hopefully you guys are getting a lot of value from this. And hopefully I can continue to be a resource for you guys for weeks to come. So I'll stay on for any questions, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see any comments, so guess speak now, forever hold your peace. And if you guys have any questions at all about mentorship, or if you have any questions at all about just overall charts, find me in the Telegram. In that chat, I am the only person that posts. So Brinks is me, obviously, clearly. So you'll see I'm the only person that posts in that Telegram chat. So you can find that account and then just message me with any questions. So hopefully everybody enjoys their weekend. It's cool to study, but it's, also get off the charts. I took a stop loss and didn't trade the second level down. Thank you, Blake. I took a stop loss and didn't trade the second level down. Yeah, so Hugo, I guess which trade, I guess, are you talking about? Is it on NASDAQ, or I'm not sure. I took a stop loss. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean. Anyway, it's okay, man. You got me on Telegram. You can message me in the chat. All right, guys. It's been good. Have a good weekend, and peace. Catch you next week.